Trappin podcast Tuesday night back in the building. Boneyard lawn service week. Last week I tried some. Me and my boy Stripe Life Canada have pre-recorded that one. So we back live again this week, man. Got a fire show for you. Hold on, we'll see what's up. Let some people get on in here. Got a couple weeks, I'll be able to go back live. What up with it, Cobb? What up with it, Shane? Y'all let me know if I got any technical difficulties. Y'all know last couple weeks it had been rough on this app I'm using. You know what I'm saying? So any technical difficulties, man, help me out, drop it, let me know, man. Hope y'all been out here grinding. Shane, bro, listen, I still ain't hit you, bro. I have been grinding. You see my face, bro. I'm over here right now, tired, woe out, sleep deprivation. But it's that time of the year. We got to get it in. Cobb, I seen where I gotta watch how I talk on her now with you, Cobb, man. You got the ABC boys watching me. What up, Cat's Paw? You know we ready for the season, man. We ready. What up with it, guys' hands? Listen, man, I'm gonna clip up some stuff and get it ready. Right now, bro, I'm gonna tell you, spring, you already know what it is. This phone been jumping. I'm gonna talk about it in a second. I'm gonna clip up some stuff, hopefully one day this week, so I can get the IG rolling to where I got a bunch of content. I should be able to dump it like 30 days up right now. So, but it's back season, man. The business is, we in that time to where, and I will always say it. I'm at that time where like the rubber's meeting the road to where it's all coming together in a beautiful way. Yeah, Cobb. Hey, I'm telling you, boy. Hey, I got to give him a call, man. I got to give him a call. I just been busy, man. He missed a meeting with me, and then we rescheduled one. But man, it's been busy, man. We had a couple rain days, bro, and then man, the work is coming. The work is coming. What up, Willie? What up with it, Lawrence? Lawrence. What up with it, DH? Yeah, we back in the building. Yeah, man, it's that time of the year, man. Listen, bro. I'm telling y'all, right now. I am running on a little sleep deprivation. I feel like I'm ready. I'm getting ready to have the best season ever. I feel like. I ain't gonna say I feel like. I know I am. It's going to go down this year. What up with you, Tony Key? See, I'm gonna tell you why it's about to go down. Because Tony Key is one of the reasons. Every time I get on IG, when I do pop it on, I'm seeing Tony Key with that nice setup that he done built to put that equipment in. Shout out to you, bro. I'm telling you, that's real motivation. I love that setup, bro. What up with Grass Choppers? STL in the building. What up with you? I don't know, bro. Grass Choppers. I don't know if you ever been on the podcast, but what up with you? I know I follow you, or I know I follow. I think I follow you on IG. Yeah, I think I follow you on IG, man. We get ready to crush it this year, man. Everybody, man. It's about to be a good season, man. I'm telling you, like it's almost like all the mowing gods is everything is lining up for us this year. I feel like to have a real good season. So we're gonna give it about one more minute. We're gonna get it cracking. We're gonna have a good show, man. Like I say last week, man. I had it pre-recorded with my boy Stripe Life Canada. I had to catch him when I could. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all got something at that episode. I appreciate him coming on. Yeah, first time on live. Well, get ready. Get ready, boy, because you better have a good show tonight. So we back up in here, Trappin Podcast, another Tuesday night, Boneyard Lawn Service, solo operator down here in Kentucky, small town Paducah. And getting it in, man, getting it in. I looked at my old client list last year. I was at 41 clients. So I'm gonna try to get it up to about 54, 55 this year. I don't think it'll break me. I think I can handle it then. So, but back in the building again, man, ready to get it in another season. And this past week it has been going down. I did 3 leaf cleanup. Oh, I did 3 cleanups. I ended up cutting my leg with some hedgers. I wanted to put it on IG, but I'm right there to where they about to let me back on the 23rd, to where I get all my access back. And I didn't want to put my leg up. They might have banned me if they would if I would have showed my leg the way it looked. It wasn't too bad, but them hedgers hit me. Y'all be safe. I say it all the time. I don't care if you did it 1,000 times, 10,000 times. Slippers count. Always make sure that you got on proper PPE. Shout out to Daryl, my boy DH down there in Nashville. I heard him say that this week. Make sure you got on the proper protection when you go out there. Man, my leg, man, it went straight through my pants, and it was kind of cool that morning. So usually I keep my long johns on. It went straight through my pants and my long john, leg leaking. So we back in though. I'm good to go. I did a couple cleanups, man. I turned one cleanup, went out, man. If you on Google, keep this in mind this whole year. Whole bunch of before and after pictures. If any customer, I'm telling you, it's like almost a sauce to getting these Google reviews. I feel like if you get a customer that tells you, "I really appreciate it, thank you, you did a great job. It's never looked like this before," any of that, instantly, will you leave me a Google review? That's when you lock in your review. I'm telling you, lock them in. I end up getting a customer. I cleaned up. What up with a DS? I end up cleaning up, man. And after I cleaned up, she hit me. She said, "I tell you what." She said, "I appreciate you. Did great." She said, "I want you to look at the other house I got. Go ahead. It's probably needing to clean up on that one too." She said, "Now have you mow this one and mow the other one, because she's gonna end up selling one she's in now." So two houses on the books right there. So just going out there, man, and treat every job like it's your first job, man. Just do it. Cause what it is with me, I don't want to get over that 50-55 mark in my mind right now. I want to keep it like right there. And I want to get my prices right to where I can handle it. If I throw somebody in the truck, I can still pay them decent. If nobody's with me, it's just more money in the pocket. So that's where I'm at with it. And also this week, like I was telling my guest, we was talking before before we got on here, man. But man, I'm tired right now. I'm telling you, I'm running on sleep deprivation, bro. I don't know if it's the beginning of the season. Uh Everything's going on. The paperworks, the estimates, trying to get a hold to the past customers, trying to get job scheduled, the cleanups. You know how it is. If you're a one-man army, them cleanups take a little more. And then on top, ain't been doing no physical work like that in about 45 days. Man, they beat me up. So I ain't gonna lie, they beat me up. They put me down. And I was getting ready to take a nap earlier, man. And literally I had 2 text messages come through for estimate. I'm talking about, this is like in a 25-minute span. I had 2 text messages come. I had one email come. I had another text message come. Man, I got my butt up. I still had some truck on stuff on the truck from cleaning up. I went out, took the truck, man. I hit up all them yards. I went and looked at every one of those properties. I'm gonna get back with each one of them in the morning. Each one of those properties, let me tell you where it's at. Each one of them is about 70. They minimum 75. Each one of them. So it's 4 properties. 3 of them about 75. One of them maybe 100. And these, it's all weeklies. So get up right now, lock them down, get on top of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you, if you scared and you've been scared to charge the right prices, you better get rid of that mindset this year. I'm gonna tell you right now, 45, 50 probably ain't gonna do it. You've been seeing what's going on with the news. Gas prices. Uh, you gotta think about this. Your gas price go up, your bar oil for your chainsaws and chains, you mix gas if you ain't all battery. Calculate all this. calculate everything else that's went up. I done went in the store, man. I'm gonna tell you, I go to the dollar store, man. I got a thing for Sour Patch Kids. Every day I gotta have a pack of Sour Patch Kids, bro. I don't know what it is. It used to be Reese's. I switched over to Sour Patch Kids. They used to be $1. It went to 125. It went to 150. Some of the candy went to 175. And this is within a year. So I'm gonna tell you, don't be scared, man, to charge the right number. And like I say, it ain't like you robbing nobody, man. It's you know, you have to do square business, and you got to stand on them prices. And each spot, each city, each neighborhood, each town, we all got different demographics. So you need to find out what's going on in the area, find out the prices, man, and don't go below none of the minimums. I'm telling you. I ain't got no news tonight. I'm just gonna drop some game before we get this guest coming in here. But keep them prices at a stand on price, man. And I've got tiers now to where nobody really getting away from me. So I've got a 5 tier system basically. I got a package. I'll tell you, my starting package comes in at like 250, and that's giving you weekly mowing. You get one cleanup. My highest package right now is going up to like 700. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still taking on whoever wants it cut. So it's like I got from my cookie cutter package basically to my what I would call like my estate package. And that's really where, because I got a property. I don't know if y'all watching my YouTube videos. I got a property right now that I'm handling. And I'm going to tell y'all, man, it's about these numbers. You don't have to have, like I always say, 50, 60, 70 yards. This estate property I got, if I just had like 24 of them, 24 of them for 10 months will bring me 150 with just 24 of those properties. So, man, make sure you're marketing. If you're going to spend some money, say you got all your equipment right now, you got everything you need in the garage to make it through this year, and you really don't have to buy no new equipment. Man, you could really take some money and try to market and get in certain areas. You might be overworked and underpaid right now. Say maybe you got 65 and you've been thinking of scaling back to 40. You know, you ain't been getting no time with the family, or you met just, you know, you can't handle it. You might have lost an employee or something. You want to scale back. Find a way to adjust them numbers. Find a way to get in certain clients' areas. Stand on your prices. Make sure you got all the equipment to be every season for them. Because a lot of the clients that I'm bumping into, every single client I bumped into today, they don't want me as no one-off, one-on mowing. And that's a lot of time. That's what I've been doing when I'm going out with these estimates. I'm looking for trees with leaves. I'm looking for everything that's going to keep me there all season. Every one of the estimates I went and looked at today, because I'm asking, I got a system now. I ask them, how did you find me? Uh, what happened to your last guy? What would you paying? Are you looking for weekly or bi-weekly? And how fast are you looking for it? And this is my system now. This is what I've been doing, and I'm telling you, it's been getting some results. I asked them, how did you find me? Once again, how did you find me? What happened to your last guy? What's the price you was paying? Are you looking for weekly or bi-weekly? And are you trying to start right now? And I'm telling you, this is gonna answer everything to stop you from even going out to the estimate. And another thing is, the people are telling me exactly what they was paying last year. They telling me. So I have one guy, he's an older guy. It's, he quit. He got out the game. And so when he got out the game, he must have had a lot of clients in the area that I'm trying to service. Because I picked up about 3 from this guy. And every one of these yards I picked up from him are treated yards. Just another thing. When you pull up on these properties, man, you got that treated yard, that's your weekly. Soon as you see that treated yard, man, it's got to get cut weekly. You feel me? Try to get them on the books. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little game, man, from just, coming into this season, how I'm about to try to get down and, man, try to make this year the best year ever, man. Like I say, I'm going to try to do way more with a few more customers, and hopefully everybody come back on. So I ain't gonna add too many more. Hopefully Hopefully everybody come back on and we're gonna be ready to get it. So tonight, man, got a guest coming on. Me and this guy met first Expo 2023. This was my first ever interview. This guy gave me my first interview ever. You know what I'm saying? And I got a shout out for that because he basically gave me the confidence to do what's happening now. He made me feel right at home. I said, man, I was at the expo. I didn't have no media badge, nothing then. I told him, I said, man, I'm here for the expo. I want to film for my YouTube channel. I had 234, 236 subscribers, something like that. I said, I want to film for the YouTube channel, man, and I want to show people this this event right here. There's so many guys that don't know this other level. I didn't know about it. And so this guy gave me my first shot at an interview. And we'll talk about where he's at with it now. So let's get him on in here. What up with you, man? It's my dude Ryan. What up with you, man?
I'm good, man. That's crazy to hear that I was the first ever interview. I'm like honored, and it's just crazy to think back because I remember seeing you there, and I had worked really hard to build a following of my own on Instagram at that
Yeah.
point. And I remember like recognizing you walking by from. I was like, "Hey, I follow you on
Yeah.
Instagram,"
Yep,
and
that's what happened.
you were just super nice, and it was really cool to like see someone in person. It was like seeing a celebrity, and so that's crazy that your
I'm
first
telling you,
interview.
let me
That's
tell
my
y'all.
accolade
Hold
right
on, let me
there.
tell y'all what he just said. Hold on. Now I ain't no celebrity, but I'm gonna tell y'all the power of this social media. I had 234 people, like I told y'all. I wasn't on Instagram yet. And he was like amazed to see me. That's why I tell y'all, man, even if
Yeah,
you got like 100 people, dog, y'all don't know the impact you putting on another person.
yeah.
So, man, go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Yeah, well, I'm Ryan. I'm in Idaho, and I work for a dealership out here. And at the time when you and I met, I was working for Gravely, so I was working the show at Equip Expo out there. And yeah, so I'm out here now. I'm the local guy. I'm the local dealer. So if you were in my area, I'd be doing my best to win your business and making sure that I was putting mowers in your hand and keeping them up and running, keeping you cutting and making money, man. But yeah, what we're doing right now, and funny how it all comes full circle. And it was cool to have you reach back out to me and say, "Hey, how have you been? I haven't seen you around." So it was just, this is great.
Yeah,
It's just,
so I'm gonna tell y'all the real reason, it ain't because he's a dealer. It ain't the real reason he's on here. The real reason he's on here because we're gonna get into it.
yeah,
Ryan has been through levels of this. The man used to do exactly what we did.
yep,
He was out here in the field like us. So, man, let's start off with that, man. How did you get from to the dealership from like you say you was out here with us? How did it start? Tell us
right.
about the journey, man. Because
So it is.
somebody might want to be a dealership one day. One of you boys might be putting up the bread, just wanna be a dealer one day. Shout out to Colton. We seen Colton do it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, and it is. It's fun because I started actually just randomly as one of those things where I never would have thought to get into lawn care at all. But then one day I was actually working at a local drum shop because, as you can kind of see, I'm a musician. So I was working at a drum shop. It didn't pay very well. And then one of my buddies was like, "Hey, my brother, he needs help out at the park that he's working at. Would you want to maybe check it out?" So I went and applied, and it was just a groundskeeper position at a local park. And
Okay.
so, I mean, it's trimming, mowing, doing everything, all that, and on site sort of thing. So it's a little bit different. It's on site maintenance. So I wasn't doing like the yard to yard or doing, individual clients or things like that. But,
Yeah.
it was municipal maintenance and it was his own thing. And then, I mean, 12 years of that, and eventually I'm a park manager. I'm in charge of a whole team. I'm in charge of mow crews. And so I did years and years of that. I worked really hard. I was working towards the end there, I was working towards my arborist certification. I was really interested in that, but I did all the irrigation, maintenance, landscape install, tons of building maintenance, but to maintaining entire fleets of mowers and trimmers and all that kind of equipment and trucks and trailers. And
I'm learning some new stuff tonight, man, because I didn't even know all this. See, I'm
yeah,
thinking that you like maybe work for a company or maybe you had started your own thing and it didn't work out and you just because but So you just started as a groundskeeper. Next thing you know, you over the whole thing. So man, listen, with the
Oh, yeah.
the nightmares of the workers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's one of the things, especially a lot of my customers, because I'm very commercially focused at my dealer.
Uh-huh.
And so I'll tell, especially I get guys that come through with like a lot of the parks districts and the cemetery districts and municipalities. And I tell them the same thing. I'm like, I speak your language, because I speak municipality. And I always say the same thing is the only reason I'm a good salesman today is because working for a park district that was run by a board of directors,
Man.
every piece of equipment I
Nah,
wanted, I had to pitch and sell it to three grumpy old men who did not want to spend a
man.
dime.
Listen, you let me cut you off right there because I was soon you said you was on a board. I was like, you ain't got no say so at all, man. Literally,
I
that's
was
the
just
first thing I felt because you out there literally in the field with it, but you have to justify
yep.
still. You know what I'm saying? For the
Yeah.
budget.
Well, because for them, everything's just a cost. And
Yeah.
two, when you're working for a city, one of the biggest things you have to be mindful of is taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
Because especially when you're working for a city like that, especially at like a public park, like
Uh-huh.
if you get a new truck, people are going to comment on it. And so, it behooves you to not get the nicest lariat version of,
Yeah.
you want to have functionality. It's really function over form. You want to make sure that it's something that's doing the job right and that you're not spending those tax dollars unwisely. And not just because people would look at you and comment on it, but when I worked there, I really was trying to be a good steward of taxpayer dollars.
Uh-huh.
And that's one of the things that as I like earned my stripes as a manager, that earned me a lot of leash to do what I wanted to do from the board, is because they knew me that way. They
Yeah.
knew that I didn't want
I
to
got a
spend.
question. So before starting this, you had never touched a mower or anything?
Okay, so here's a good story for the podcast. This is one of my favorite stories. Is I'll never forget my first day on the job, because I'm all about. I have three rules for
Uh-huh.
work, and I've said this to every employee I've ever had. I only need to do three things, and as long as you do those three things, I'm the easiest boss in the world to work for. Show up, work hard, be honest. If you do those three things, we're good. Be honest with me. If you break something, tell me. That's what we have insurance
As soon as
for.
it happens, just let me know.
Yeah, just let me know so I can fix it. And the
Yeah.
first thing
Yeah.
and I'll tell another story about that later, but basically I showed up. I was early because my dad taught me if you're if you're on time, you're late. Like you got to show up early to be on time. And so I'm there and I don't see the boss
That's a good
anywhere.
tip
I'm
right
going,
there. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. That's a good tip. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, where's and so I call him and I'm like, hey, I'm here. I don't see your truck here. What do you want me to do? And he goes, hey, you see that big mower over there? And there it was sitting there, a John Deere 797 7-iron 72-inch commercial zero turn. I'm going, I've never seen one in my life. I
So,
go,
so,
uh-huh.
and I know with the parts, so y'all basically running a lot of. You was probably running a bunch of 72s and 60s, huh?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
What's funny is when I first went to work for the dealership, I was like, why is everybody buying all these tiny little 52s and 60s? Like,
Yeah, different
why don't you sell me
terrains, different shit.
72s? I was used to, my trim mower was a 48. Like that was the smallest mower that we had.
So,
We,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
but yeah, anyways, I show up and I'm like, I'm here. And he goes, you see that big old 72-inch mower back there? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, mow the park. And I go, okay, all right. So I jump on, and I didn't even know how to start it. Like I had to figure out the brake and the handles, and I'm doing this, all right, dude. Just
You just had a job, and you just trying to get the job done.
and thankfully there was some wide open areas, and I did those first. But what was funny is that the park was big enough that we would do it in sections, so you wouldn't mow the whole park in one day.
Yeah,
Would
you
mow
might do Monday one side. Yeah, got
and
you.
so we
Kind
mow
of like
3 days a week,
military.
and we'd cycle which area we were mowing. But I did the whole park in one day. It took me like 9 hours, and I got done. And I was like, "Oh, I got it done. I had to refuel and everything. I had to figure out fueling it up." And he goes,
All that, yeah.
"He's like,
So,
wait, you mowed the whole park?"
so after you say you was like 12 years, so what made you go from the part to being at a dealership, becoming like a dealer? Was it just burnout or just opportunity or what was it?
So what's funny about, well, it wasn't really funny at the time. Basically, with working for a municipality, one of the things that it's subject to is politics. And
Yeah.
so what ended up happening with my particular park district is that it was a smaller park district that wasn't part of the city. And as the city grew, they decided to annex our park. And so what
We
happened
got
to
some in my
me,
city going on like that now. Go ahead.
and it just happens, man. It happens like any business. What ended up happening to us is that they decided to take on the facilities, all of our parks, all of our grounds and facilities, all of our equipment, all of our fleets and everything like that, and minus the employees. So we just overnight lost all our jobs, and I went from
Oh
being
man.
a park manager, and so that's kind of the second part of the story. And you can ask me anything about the park stuff, but kind
No,
of
but that's no that but that right there is like kind of what's going on in the economy now. You know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of people who's like thought they had job security
yeah.
and now they scrambling. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and
So
that's one of the things that happens. A lot of times people say, and I'll say that because I know people who still work for the city and they go, oh, yeah, it's steady, steady job. You don't have to worry about anything. It's like, well, or your job could literally disappear overnight with
yeah.
no warning. And literally what they said is they're like, well, we're all full up, but you can apply to a seasonal next year. And I was like, I'm the manager. Like, you're not going to hire me. You're not going to hire me as the superintendent. And so what I ended up doing is I just hat in hand went to everywhere I could think of. And here's the deal: I'd worked for a park district for 12 years. And like, matter of fact, I have it right here. 1 second.
Yeah, it's crazy,
I
man.
had time to get additional schooling, and I got my
You had to
professional
go get
career
it.
diploma.
Hey, you had to go get additional schooling?
I didn't. I went and got this on my own because I wanted to get certified as a landscaper. And
Ah,
so
okay. Fire.
I
Yeah.
went and basically became a landscaper and said, um, I have this certification that unless I'm going to go work for another landscaping company, then it's worthless. And it was during the time, it was before the hiring crisis. And literally, you're calling everywhere, going, and I'm hat in hand going, hey, I'll sweep floors, I'll clean toilets. I don't care. I just need a job. I got bills to pay.
Hey, I was
You
cleaning toilets. That was my last job before I started this. Go ahead.
I'm not above any of that stuff. And your bills got to get paid, and,
Man, that's
so,
real.
I'm very humble about those sort of things. But what ended up happening, my dog's joining us for the podcast here. But what ended up happening was nobody was hiring. And so I ended up just kind of calling around. Finally, I called one of my vendors that I bought a lot of my irrigation supply from. And
Ah,
they had just purchased a local power equipment dealership. And so one of my main sales guys that had been selling me irrigation for years, I was like, dude, I'll sweep floors. I just want to come work for you. I'd love to come work for your company, whatever I got to do. And he goes, well, we don't really have anything, but you've turned a wrench on mowers before, haven't you? And I was like, yeah, I've done like services and oil changes. I got a fleet
yeah.
here that done that stuff too. Usually all the repairs were warranty repairs, so I didn't do a lot of that, but I would do minor
Yeah,
repairs. And
you do
I
the
would go, yes.
basics, though. Yeah.
I didn't tell them that. I was like, yes,
Oh,
I've turned wrenches on mowers, you know, and they ended up going, well, I got a spot for you. So I went from being a manager for a park district to entry level small engine mechanic.
small engine mechanic. That's crazy. Go ahead. Hey, I'm learning some stuff tonight from you, bro. Because we ain't never. Hey, that's crazy. Go ahead. Your journey about to be. That's crazy. From what I know now, dang. Go ahead.
And then I got this. So I went and because I'm no stranger to hard work. I'm just going through my certifications here. So I started from the ground up because what I've always learned is to make yourself valuable. Go get additional schooling, get additional learning, do what you got to do to make yourself valuable.
Yeah.
And that way you can rise in the ranks and earn some more money. And so through the course of which I got my master service technician certification. So I became a master
Come
technician.
on, man. Listen, let me tell you something. I didn't even know that, dog. Let me tell you. You about to start getting some texts here and there. If I need anything, I feel anything, I sense anything with the engine, I'm gonna text you straight up. Go ahead. Especially if you can save me from going to the dealership.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's what's, and then eventually I earned my way up to Master Tech, and I
man,
saw that is a really valuable skill and asset.
Hold on, I don't mean to cut you off one more time. So how did you acquire that?
Well, it's one of those things where I actually acquired it because I didn't know a lot about the job. I found myself having to ask the tech next to me. A lot of times, the guy on the bench next to me would kind of gatekeep some of that information. They didn't want to share it really readily.
Yeah.
And so I just was like Googling, like, hey, how to fix a two-cylinder engine, or trying to like Google my issues,
Yeah. And you stumbled across it and
And
man,
yeah,
that's
they were like, and I was a Briggs and Stratton dealer. We were a Cowie dealer. We were a Briggs and Stratton dealer.
yeah.
We were a Honda dealer. And so I ended up just going to these service schools. And so as I would get to these service schools, they would give you certifications. But then eventually Briggs was one of the only ones that offered like a master technician program.
Yeah. Because see,
And
go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
it's one of the hardest tests I've ever taken. It's just, it's a really, and it wasn't about like, hey, do you have like all the knowledge in your brain? It's, can you solve this problem with the information you have?
Yeah.
And
That's crazy because man, you actually I'm trying to think if we had anybody speak on the perspective of like, engine problems, servicing their small engines. I don't think we had too many. So yeah, go ahead, man. I'm taking notes on this. Go ahead.
well,
No,
you
for
got
real, man, I'm gonna tell you, dude, because like I blew an engine.
okay.
So I blew one, and I'm talking about I blew it early. Like I only had like, man, a little bit over 200 hours. It was all my fault. It was nobody else's fault. It was my fault. I wasn't doing my due diligence. You know what I'm saying? And I had someone on IG that used to help me, and they told me one day they seen my bill from where I had got my mower service. And they
Mhm.
said, "Man, we looked at the bill. We seen when you got service." They said, "Don't do that again." They said, "Just call me. I'll FaceTime you." And they
Yeah,
literally helped me from going to the dealership unless I have to go. You know
right.
what I'm saying? Other than that, I can sit in the garage and do my basics. You know what I'm saying? But
Sure.
shout out to them. They end up getting hacked. And so once they got hacked, they was like, "Man, we're just done with the IG thing." You know what I'm saying? But shout out to them. Yeah, they was a help. But go ahead, man, because that small engine is serious.
Yeah,
Especially
well, and
now, because that price is about to go up. You got to take your mower in there now. Go ahead.
yeah, buy it now because prices are going to go up. That's
Mhm.
really what it is. But yeah, so and to your point, if I can give everybody here my biggest tip that I've learned over all this time, it's preventative maintenance will save you a lot of money. It's out all the time. I have pictures on my phone
Uh-huh.
where guys will bring in dusted engines. And here's the thing, and this is coming from a guy who was a landscaper, coming from a guy who, like I said, was ready to sweep floors, earned my way from entry level mechanic up to a master technician, and then worked at his dealership as a parts guy, a sales guy. Went and worked for a manufacturer. Like I got an opportunity to work for the
We're gonna get
factory.
into that too. Yeah. Go ahead.
And I'll tell you, it's so important to do your maintenance because one of the things that happens that's really frustrating to any dealer is, and because every dealer's had to deal with it, and because I said, show up, work hard, be honest. Here's the deal: if you're one of my customers, just be honest with me, because if the trust is earned in drops and lost in buckets, and it goes both ways. If you don't trust me, then it's going to take me forever to get that trust back. So I'm never going to lie to you, ever. I would never lie to any of my customers. As a matter of fact, every time somebody goes, I had a guy come in the other day and go, have you ever seen this before? And I go, no, this is still first. This is the first I've ever seen. And he goes, no way. There's no way. And I'm like, why would I lie about that? If
Yeah.
I'd seen it, then I would say, yes, I've seen this before. It's not that big of an issue. I'll get it fixed. Why would I say, I've never seen it before?
Yeah.
I have no incentive to lie to you. And so that's the other thing, is just be honest with your dealer, because the more honest, factual information you can give them,
They know what to look for.
you can fix it
Exactly.
sooner.
Yeah.
You can fix it
Yeah.
sooner, it's cheaper. And sure, are all dealers out there gonna be, the best guys? Sometimes not, because people are people. But
Yeah.
most people in this industry really are hardworking mom and pop stores, and
Yeah.
even if it's a big dealership, they're still honest, hardworking people that they have no reason to do you wrong.
And they really want to get you up and running because I'm gonna put it like it's just like a customer.
Yeah,
We ain't nothing without a client or a customer. The
right.
dealership ain't nothing without the customers that come through there to buy the mowers, get the more service. So yeah, go
Well,
ahead.
look, I'm one of the guys who, I'll be crazy honest with everyone about it, is that I don't care what brand it is, it's going to break. It's going to break at some point. It only has so much of a lifespan, but we can do a lot to make it last as long as possible with as few issues as possible. But for instance, one of the ones that's on my phone that's kind of like my go-to as an example is I had a guy dust an engine and it was totally toast. And the technician, I'm a sales guy at this point. I had worked for the manufacturer. I knew a thing or two. And so they bring it in and it's dead. It's totally dead. They're very upset with me about it. They're like, this is a brand new mower. It shouldn't be dead. I was like, well, bring it in. I have a demo mower that I'll give you to use in the meantime. So don't worry about that. You know, I do that on purpose.
Listen, dealership, go ahead. You got a demo mower.
More dealers need to do that. Not enough do, but because it's a secret weapon, because now you're not upset that you're down because I just gave you a mower to use while I work. You know, so that's on, not everybody has the ability to do that. Not every brand offers that as an option. But I'm lucky that I work with Gravely and they have a program where they give me demo mowers specifically for that purpose. And so, and I use that program. It saved me a lot because it gives me time to work on it. It gives me time to solve the problem and but you're not worrying about your revenue. You're out there, you're cutting grass, you're making money, you're keeping your customers happy, which is the ultimate goal. I want to help keep your customers happy. But anyways, just an example is they said it's dead. It's a brand new mower, engine's not doing anything. They bring it in, and I go, okay, well, here's my demo, go use it. And first thing I noticed is this is a 1-year-old mower, and it looks like it's a 6-year-old mower. It's hammered. It's never been cleaned. It just looks like it's been run hard, put away wet every day of its life. And so that's the first thing I noticed. I go, okay, well, it doesn't really look like this thing's been ran with any sort of care. So there's that. But besides the point, what's the problem? Well, my technician puts a compression test on it, and the compression test says that the engine's dead. You basically need new cylinders on it. And so they say, well, it should be covered under warranty. And right. And I go, well, normally it would, except, and I showed them the picture. I was like, this is your air filter. And the air filter, I'm not making this up. I'm not exaggerating at all. It was completely caked to the point where you could take it off like a fine sheet of grass and hold it like this.
Let me tell you what's crazy. This what happened to me. This is funny you say that. This what messed up my mower, my engine. The air filter. I was in the beginning. Listen, I don't know much. I'm just taking my mowers usually to get them serviced. You know what I'm saying? I got a scheduled date. I drop them off. I keep one more here. I let them take out them two, let them service them, get them one back. I drop the other one off. That's how I was doing it. So, like I'm saying, this was when I first started doing leaf jobs for real. I started picking up on my leaf jobs. What had happened was the filter, dude, a little bitty like a pinhole, something that got in that filter and knocked a little hole in it, and that little hole was getting dust down into the engine, and it messed up those cylinders.
It's all it takes. Well, think of it too, like the engine that this guys were using, and it was completely covered. There wasn't a square inch of this filter that wasn't completely covered with like a thick, like I'm like not joking, like this thick a layer of grass.
Man,
like it was coated. And it's a 38.5 horse EFI engine. That thing breathes a lot of air. And so it's just sucking dirty air. And eventually it just overtook the filter to the point where the thing with these engines on most mowers, unless it specifically says it's a liquid cooled engine. So you'll see liquid cooled engines on some of the like Kohlers and things like that. Some of the Briggs have that. Unless it says specifically it's a liquid cooled engine, most of them are air cooled. So if it can't breathe, then it can't cool itself up. And so one of the things that I learned, and this is true, so anybody that has a mower can do this, and you can tell if your engine's running too hot and if it's not cooling properly. Go to your dipstick, loosen that thing, pull the dipstick up and clean it off. If it looks like it has on that dipstick baked on, like it has that like baked oil that's on there, that means that the engine was running too hot. And there's a lot of reasons for it to do that. But I can tell you the number one reason that I've encountered in all of my 20 plus years of doing power equipment is that air fins are not being cooled. or air fins are not being cleaned. Sorry, chopper fins are not getting cleaned. Air filters are not being cleaned and replaced.
Please.
And here's the thing. I was a master tech before I learned this, and I'm willing to admit that because I don't want anybody to feel that they're doing something wrong. I learned that you're not supposed to use an air wand to clean off your air filter. You're not, by a clean air filter, a brand new air filter will actually filter less than a broken in one. Yeah. And if you take an air wand and use the compressed air to clean that off, it actually will push tiny little pinholes through it, and that will actually allow dust to get into your engine. That will cause more damage than anything. So what I always say is,
replace it. Don't even clean it. Just go ahead and get your brand new one.
Yeah, if you can't physically just take the dust off, and what I'll do is the most amount of cleaning I'll do is I'll go to like the bumper of the mower or whatever, and I'll just kind of tap it.
Okay.
That's about all you can
do. Yeah. Okay. Got you. So, man, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, you got me all nerding out on air filters now, man.
no, you good. So I want to speak on like how did you? Because we're gonna transition to because I could tell you like we could talk about this all night right here.
Yeah.
So how did you get to where your maintenance and basically your entry level technician guy, small engine guy, to where what was your next step after that?
Yeah, so entry level, I would start.
I just thought you was a corporate dude. Go ahead.
Oh man, I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, and I started from the ground up. No, from there I started as the Lowe's warranty service technician. I started working on just walk behind mowers, and because Lowe's will have independent dealers in their area work on mowers for them under contract. And so once a week we'd go around and collect all this stuff from different Lowe's, bring it all in. I would look at them, I would diagnose them and fix them and send them back out. And then eventually I worked up to where I was working on commercial equipment for the dealership.
So and he's letting y'all know something too about Lowe's, guys. Anybody still out there getting those box mowers? Go ahead.
I could tell you a thing or two, but I'll refrain. Yeah, so I went from there to where I kind of let the guy, my boss, know at one point. I was like, this is good work, and I've been willing to kind of do this version of sweeping floors for a while. And yeah, I'm a master tech, and but I was like, my ultimate goal though is to move up in the company. That's always been my motivation. Is I want to eventually be a manager again. Like I was a manager for a long time. I really liked it. I really liked working with teams and leading and all that. And eventually it got to a point where I was like, I feel like I'm kind of tapped out here. Can I move up? And so they moved me up to counter. And so I started just, I'd be the guy you walk into the dealership and say, hey,
first guy you got to talk to. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let me find the part for you. I'm answering the phones. I'm going out and
going out. Let me. I don't mean to cut you off, but I bet that helped you get a lot of relationships when you got to the counter.
Oh, 100%. Well, because a lot of times the mechanics have the best relationships with the customers because the customers really trust the mechanics to tell them what's wrong. They call you Dr. Ryan and things like that, and it's like, oh yeah, here's the diagnosis. And so, galvanizing that trust with the customers was huge. Getting to know them, and two, getting to know the service guys, the guys who are constantly bringing stuff in. And then working the phones, I got to know some of the people that are working in the offices and, hey, I need this invoice. Okay, let me look that up for you. And then I became kind of the question answer guy. Yeah. And then I was working at the counter, and then eventually a salesman position opened up where it's what they call a territory manager. So a lot of different names and nomenclature for different.
I know exactly what you talk about. What you talk about. Go ahead.
Yeah. So they're basically like, hey, I became the salesman for power equipment for the entire company because I was the only power equipment branch. We sold a lot of irrigation. We sold a lot of landscape supply and things like that, which I sold some of that too. But basically they tapped me to be the power equipment specialist so any of the irrigation guys, one of their customer called needing power equipment. They go, okay, well, we'll get Ryan. And then I would go and work alongside that territory manager to help them manage that and get that coming. And I ended up just selling a ton of mowers. I had a lot of success.
So what mowers were you selling?
Gravely and Aaron's. We had Skag. So I sold a bunch of different brands at that spot. We had Husqvarna was one of the main things that we sold. We sold Gravely Aaron's, we sold Skag, we sold Honda, Billy Goat, Echo, Shindawa, quite a few different things. Yeah, but Gravely was our primary brand for sure. And
Yeah, that's where I met you at. It was at a Gravely booth. So
right, yeah. Here, it looks like it's getting a little dark. The sun's going down. Let me turn on the lights so I'm not.
no, you good. But now we talk about the Gravely though, because that's where I met you at the Gravely booth, and you still actually running Gravely. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, so now I'm the Gravely dealer over here in Idaho, and it's been a really cool ride. So from there, I ended up getting an opportunity to work for Gravely because of my success there. The district manager for Gravely, who covered the Intermountain West, got an opportunity to move up to the regional manager position, which he's still the regional manager today.
okay.
And he gave me an opportunity to come and work for Gravely, and it was really really cool. It was an eye opening experience. I really loved it. I really loved the company. It's a family owned company, so Aaron's is the parent company, and Dan Aaron's is the CEO. And it was really really cool and fun to work for that. I will say though, man, I have so much respect for these district managers and for these factory sales reps, mainly because it's not an easy job. It's a lot of territory. So I covered the Intermountain West, which was Montana, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, and most of Washington, Oregon.
So that's
And
4 states.
I was physically driving that territory. And I'll tell you, when you're out in Montana, you'll
Born drives.
not see another town, let alone a viable dealer, you know.
You out there just in the you in the mountain desert.
Just putting miles on it too, flying to things like Expo and constantly going back to headquarters at in Wisconsin. And so it was a ton of travel. And so then I got an opportunity that the dealer that I work for now, which is the Gravely dealer that was one of my dealers, they offered me a role. And then I decided, I was like, I've done this and it's been a lot of fun and it's been extremely lucrative and all those things. It's also been an eye-opening experience. I learned a ton. But, for me personally, I wanted to be home a little bit more. And so I decided to take this role so that, I could be home here with my dog and, with my wife.
You've been Gravely now for what? Like, shoot. How many years total?
So I worked for Gravely for about 2 years, and now I've been here at my current dealership for 2 years. So,
2 years. Okay.
yep.
And then you say, okay, you start off with the John Deere. So, man, as a dealer, when you come in and you see guys come in, how would you suggest the best way of a guy purchasing mowers? And I'm saying, far as a guy might just come in and want one more, or a guy
Right.
might come in and it might make sense. He might just be thinking one more, or it might make sense to him to go ahead and try to get a fleet.
Right.
You know what
Well,
I'm
that's
saying? So,
a good
yeah, go
question.
ahead.
And it really depends on the individual and more in particular your business model. So, for instance, I just had a guy stop in today and he's basically saying, look, I don't have a lot of capital. So, if I don't have to spend the money, I'd like to keep that. But I also could use two mowers. And so, to that, I say, if you have the ability to get two at a time, most dealers and most manufacturers are going to offer you a discount, a fleet discount. They want you to buy multiple machines. And so they incentivize the dealer by giving us rebates, and they incentivize the customer by lowering the price. So, for instance, I can speak for Gravely. They've got a great fleet program. It's simply this. I told him, okay, so you're looking at two 60-inch machines. I have either two 560s, which are my 38 and a half horsepower EFI engines that are going to mow almost 16 miles an hour. Or I have my Gravely Pro Turn 260s, which are going to save you some money, but be a fully functional commercial mower. It's got to get the job done. And if you buy two of those, then you get 20% off list price. And that 20% off list price is good for 2 years after the initial purchase. Meaning you purchase two mowers, not only do you get 20% off, which ends up saving you, like for the mowers that he was looking at, it was almost $4,000.
That's what I was about to say. It's about that's what I was about to say. It's about 3 grand, 35. But you're right. Go ahead.
And
I'm looking at brand new more. Go ahead.
he buys two. If he comes back next year and just needs one, I can still give him that 20%.
The 20% off again. Oh,
But I
that's
can also,
okay.
offer that for 2 years. So that discount lasts for 2 years from the initial purchase. So
That's
if you have the ability to
wow.
purchase 2 at a time or more, it's 2 or more, that's going to save you money because now you're in the fleet program. And I have a lot of my commercial customers that will actually say, "Hey, when's my fleet coming up?" Because they want to make sure that they buy 2 more so that they
More
can
so you get that discount.
yeah, because I got a lot of guys that will go, "Hey, I just pulled up a new account. I need to stand up a new truck and a new crew." And I go, "Okay, but they just need 1 more." And I was like, "Okay, Pro Stance 48, not a problem, man. 20% off list. I got plenty in stock, you know." So that'll save you money. But
He said, "Is that
the other,
gravely everywhere?"
what's that?
Pop that question up again. I'm telling you, this thing
Yeah,
think
so that's the Gravely program.
that's the Gravely program. For some reason, it won't pop up for me, grass choppers. But yeah, go ahead. He says the
Yeah,
Gravely program. I don't know what's going on. There we go.
shoppers. So the way that works is any Gravely dealer, they have that in the program. Now it's kind of like with any car dealer or anything else. It's like dealership participation required. Some dealers may not want to utilize that program. They may have their own incentives. I know that some dealerships have their own discounts that they apply that might even be better than 20%. But so subject to dealer participation, but most dealers are going to do that. It's a great way to offer you guys a discount and to get you into our ecosystem. To
Yeah,
make
and
it.
yeah, that's what I was just about to say. It's getting you into an ecosystem because me and a guy we have a talk a lot, and I'm to the point where I'm ready to. I want a fleet. I want all my mowers, everything looking alike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I'm just trying to figure out. Let me make the next move the best move.
yeah,
And so what you said, so say if you get that 20% off, I'm gonna tell you, once you get to kind of where the spot where you can make you like 15, 20 grand within the first couple months of mowing, you get that money back.
oh
And
yeah,
then you buying, like I say, my biggest mower 27 horsepower, so I know what a 38 and a half will do for me in a day.
yeah,
It'll be night and day difference. I could probably man, I could either be home 3 hours earlier or I could probably take on 2, 3 more yards.
yeah. Well, it's a
So
big difference too. Like the customer I was talking to today, I was like, the difference between, he's like, well, what's the difference? So I was like, the 200 series, it'll mow, it'll get it done. Commercial mower, it's a production mower, it'll do a good job. I was like, but compared to this one, this
yeah,
one's gonna be flying. And for a
yeah.
guy like me who spent my early years as a landscaper,
Mhm.
and one of the things I didn't mention too is that I worked at the park, but I also had my own side hustle, basically doing the chuck in a truck. I
Yeah.
just would show up in my little Ford Danger Ranger with a push mower.
You had a Ford Ranger. Nah, shout out to the Ford Ranger, man. Them trucks is
Ranger, man, I know that truck.
hey, them little trucks is monsters, man.
But I'd show up and I worked. I didn't have very many clients, but I had about 10 clients that I would work, and that was my side hustle.
Yeah.
So I've done both of it. Had my own business, and I've also worked for a municipality. So I kind of had the best of both worlds. But for me, with having worked with commercial production mowers, specifically like 72s and larger, I want production speed. And so I've always kind of been that guy where if I'm going full stick
Mhm.
and I'm kind of trying to make it do a little more,
Yeah.
like it drives me nuts because the rest of the day I'm just going, give me, come on, give me a
Yeah.
little more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
now,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, 'cause you used to that. Yeah, 'cause you used to that. Okay, got you. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, but I'm here. Yeah, I feel the same way, Strive Leader. I'll give you the
Man.
race. I want to go full stick. I want to go all out. And I will say this because I've run them all. And I started with John Deere, but I've gone through all of them. I have nice things to say about every brand, and I'm never going to brand bash because everybody out there likes what they like for the reason they like it. And I
Yeah.
will say the same thing I've always said to everybody that in the landscape industry is that there's no one wrong way to cut grass except the way that isn't safe. Other than that, it's what you prefer. It's what works for
Man.
you, what works for your business, it what's work for your organization, what's worked for you personally. So
Yeah,
I've
and like
never,
another thing I'm gonna throw in, the dealer and the dealership.
yeah,
It makes a lot. It makes a lot. I mean, that matters a whole lot how you get treated in
oh yeah,
those spots. Go ahead.
well, and half the reason that I am the salesman that I am today is because I was in your shoes and I remember what it felt like to be treated poorly, either by a dealership or a brand. And so, and I've
Yeah.
used every brand under the sun, man. I started with John Deere, but I've done Hustler, Toro, Exmark. I ran a lot of walkers. I actually like walkers a lot. They're
Hey,
slow,
y'all. Hold on,
but
hold
I
on.
like them a
Guess
lot.
what? Guess what though? He even ran a Yachta.
I ran Yachtas. I've done them all, man. So everybody has things that they're good at and things that they're not so great at, and sometimes things that they're just flat out bad at. But it's all making tall grass short, and really at this stage of the game, no one's reinventing the wheel. So you got a good version, and it's all about how you use it. And honestly, as a salesman, one of the things that I tell a lot of people is that cutting corners when you're purchasing a machine, the only person that you're hurting is you. Because a lot of guys, now it's one thing if you say for my business model, this is the capital that I have. This is how much I can afford. That's
Yeah.
different because that's about investment. And eventually you get to the point where that investment, you take that money back from the investment you made, you make more, and then you can invest more in a bigger mower. You can upgrade. But eventually it's about getting the right size of machine for the job. And I think of things in weight classes because you wouldn't put a lightweight boxer in the ring with a heavyweight boxer. The heavyweight's going to cream him. It's going to kill him. You know, put the right weight class of machine on the work that you're trying to do. And that works two ways too, because it's like one of the things that the customer I was talking to today was concerned with is that they're smaller yards and they're residential. So showing up with this big beast of a mower, you know, some little old lady like, oh my goodness, what are you doing?
You say that.
Yard, you know, like.
Now this funny you say that because some of the yards I'm looking at now, I don't want to put the big 60 on them. You know what I'm saying? Even though the gates is all well, we got certain gates where I'm at. You're gonna be able to get the 61 back there.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it now, like, man, I might have to get me one of these 48s with one of them nice, one of them nice newer engines on and have to run that thing. So I'm gonna figure it out because I don't want to overkill, like I say on those yards. Like like what you said, I don't want to straight run overkill. And we really need you really gotta have the right yard. I mean the right mower for the right yard because I don't care what nobody say. The best cut is always gonna be with the push mower. Then it's gonna be the walk behind. And the bigger you get, the worse it gets to me, as far as cut wise.
And you can mitigate some of those things with a big mower. You can do things like twills that are a little more polite. You can do things like making sure it's nice and dry. It's always tough to get customers because they want to water their yard a lot, and then you show up on a damp, and you're just leaving ruts, and it's a muddy mess. We've all done that, And so there's a lot of things you can do to mitigate it. But you're right. The best cut is always going to be with that 21-inch walk. But if there's some yards that if you did that,
everybody in here, we passed that though. We just speaking on cut. We way past that pushing. Hey, I don't even know if we might got a couple in the chat who's still pushing, but I'm gonna tell you, my push mowers they gonna have rust this year because I ain't listen. I'm trying not to pull them out. It's over for that, man. I got rid of all my yards that I got a push mower. I got one that I really keep it for because it's like it's a ditch, and it's just for some reason it's easier to hit with the push more than leaning over trying to trim it. So, man, we gonna get out of here, Ryan. Man, I appreciate you coming on, man. Hey, tell them where they can follow you at, reach out to you, man, and y'all might got some small engine questions. Somebody might want to hop in the Gravely, anything. You got any questions? So, how can they reach out, man, and get to you, Brian, if they need to?
The main way that I'm out here right now is just on LinkedIn. You can find me just searching my name, Ryan Gratton, Gratton on LinkedIn. And I know you follow me on there, so you could probably link him to put that in the link there for the comments. Dude, absolutely. Anybody out there, if you got a question, hit me up on that, and I'm happy to answer your question. And to your point, if you guys have technical questions and you want to talk to somebody that's maybe doesn't have any skin in the game as far as like, I'd be happy to talk to you about Gravely. I'd be absolutely ecstatic if you decided to get into a Gravely mower, and I can have nothing but good things to say. But I'm not going to push that on you. Like, especially if you're in an area that doesn't even have a Gravely dealer and you just have questions and you want an honest answer about another brand, give me a holler, and I'm happy to do that. technical questions too. I'm here
Yeah.
to help the community. And man, it's such a pleasure doing this. It's so crazy to see you, and it's crazy to hear that I was one of your first interviews. And
Now, you wasn't one of my first. You was my first. He's literally my first interview. I got the interview. It was on the channel. It was
you
Gravely Moors. It was when they first came. It was when everybody was first dropping them battery Moors.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I remember. I remember it all too well. And two, you were like, "Hey, you want to do an interview?" And I was like, "Well, I guess I'm on camera.
yeah.
Let's go."
And you was like, man, let's go. Yeah. So, but man,
It's amazing to see how you've grown. Congrats, man.
now,
And I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan, and I
now,
follow you.
now,
I love it.
now it's mutual, man. Cause like I say, I always said we only good as each other. Cause like I say, I
Absolutely.
blew an engine. If I would have knew you knew, if I would have knew this story that we heard tonight, hey, like what you said, prevention, because that's my main thing now. So before we get out of here, before y'all start the season, y'all know what it is. Change them filters,
Yeah.
change that oil, change them your fuels. I'm going blank. Uh y'all know what I mean, man. All your fuel stuff change
I'll give you
everything.
one last tip. Here's the
Hey,
best tip. Because all these machines, unless I said they're liquid, they say specifically they're liquid cooled. Mowers like to be cleaned. The best thing you can do, I know you got
yeah,
a backpack blower, I know you got a handheld blower on your trailer. The best thing you can do at the end of the day is just blow all that grass off, get down into the nooks and crannies, blow off the cooling fins on your engine, get down by the transmission, blow off those because those fans that are there. If you're doing that and keeping that all that stuff off of your mower, man, it's going to last so much longer. When, as a dealer, when we see a clean mower come in, we go, "This mower's been treated far better than 90% of them that are out there, and it will last you longer." So clean your machine, do your maintenance,
well, I'm glad you
and
said
every
that,
dealer
'cause
will love you.
I'll make sure when I go talk to them about these trade-ins that my mowers are squeaky clean. So
And well, here's and last piece of advice. I'll leave it. I know we got to get out of here, but working for the municipality because for tax purposes, we
uh-huh.
couldn't sell our used mowers. It was a nightmare to try to get the forms to sell them outright.
Okay.
So what we ended up doing is that we would send them to the auction. But we learned really early on that the only way to get a good auction value out of a mower was to take really good care of it, do all of its maintenance, have the maintenance records with you so that you could present that because people like it
Yeah.
clean.
Ah.
We pressure washed our machines and we would get top dollar when it came time for traded. And that's
Man,
true.
that's
If you
a
come
good
to a
tip,
dealer
y'all.
on a trade your mower and it's clean and I know you've done the maintenance and you can hand me a maintenance record, I'm going to give you more money for that machine than I normally would.
Man, that's a good tip right there, man. Hey, appreciate you, Ryan, man. I'm gonna drop you in the back, man. Stay on. Appreciate you coming on. Y'all go check out Ryan, my dog, man. And he just gave some great tips tonight. So listen, even if y'all, because I've been watching everybody clean their mowers at the beginning of the season. Now, with that tip he gave, you might want to start making you a spreadsheet to where, okay, here's my hours when I changed it. Here's when I got it clean. This when this was done. This when that was done. Hey, man, that's some good tips. So, man, yeah, usually fast money for him, Will. You know what it is, Will. It's like a pawn shop, man. It's the game, though. You feel me? So, but man, Mo Trappin Podcast, another Tuesday night, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in. I'm gonna try to get y'all some clips up, man. Sleep deprivation. I got some bushes to do tomorrow. I gotta clean do tomorrow. I got I got some estimates I gotta get back to. Man, y'all making sure the best year we can. We gonna run it up. And man, stay safe out there. Like I said, I hit myself with them hedges. You heard what he said. The only way to really cut is to stay safe on that mower. So holla at y'all, man, in the next show, man. We out of here, Mo Trappin Podcast. Appreciate you tuning in again.